Welcome back to the Polishing Podcast. It is a bright and sunny day here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 11:16 a.m. I'm Nico, otherwise known as Nico All Powerful, and I'm here with the sexy Big Leather Daddy as always.
No, I'm changed my name to Spookalated Apollo.
No, that's not for this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but how is it down there in the South?
Oh, I thought you were just gonna say, "How is it down there?" I'm like, everything's working.
Well, I mean, now we know that too. So, no extends and or Viagra for the Big Leather Daddy.
Well, I mean, no. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. No, things are good down here. The weather is fantastic. So the way Georgia works is that you get about a week worth of good weather, and then it's just summer, winter. So it's super hot summer, and then you get a week of fall, and then it's winter.
Yeah. Thankfully, we're actually getting fall right now. It's only like the high is 50 degrees, and the lows are like 30s, but
That's
it's not
cold, dude.
Yeah, it's not really cold during the day, thankfully. So we get to enjoy our fall so far.
Yeah, right now it's 62 degrees.
Yeah, that's still nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah. Also, before we get too far into anything, I just want to mention how all those like commercials for Extends when they come on late at night, they're still like censored. The guy's like, "Oh, I got it, and it worked." Like,
My absolute favorite is the guy who's like sitting there. His wife comes over. He's like, "Honey, I got some male enhancement." And he's like, "What, for your muscles?" He's like, "No,
no,
not for my muscles."
it's for my cartilage. It's,
Yeah,
it's mostly cartilage and muscle. Whatever.
Cockalage.
Oh, there it is. All right. Well, we can go away from that now. We got the zinger out. But yeah, that's a good way to start the podcast. Alienate anybody who didn't want to hear about penis this early.
Or they got Extends and like, "Damn assholes, I use Extends."
Hey, look. Apparently, it works.
Oh.
God, I love that so much. It's just because I think it's because it's like a woman who interviews the dudes for the commercial, and he's just like, "It worked." Like he doesn't know how to say like, "Yeah, my dick got way bigger."
Yeah.
Oh man. Anyway, how are you doing today? I know it's always weird to ask this question because I always ask it before we start the recording too.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, that's good.
Yesterday was Brittany's birthday, so we did make your own pizza night. So
Pizza night.
that was fun. Pizza night.
Yeah, that's good. We didn't do anything last night because it was nothing special. Though my anniversary is in 12 days.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
You guys doing anything?
I'm making like pasta, like I'm making like sauce and stuff.
But you're not gonna go out?
No,
do anything?
We didn't feel like going out. So
Going out's for weirdos.
Well, I mean, I bet we'd get something free if we were like, yeah, it's our first wedding anniversary. We've only been married a year. They'd probably be like, well, here's a free complimentary cake, or not cake, like not a whole ass cake, but like slice of chocolate cake and some like a vanilla scoop of ice cream or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's worth going out for. It's just
No.
this is some cake they throw in a microwave and ice cream they get out of the deep freezer.
Yeah, like usually it's like something small.
Yeah. But so yeah, we're just gonna stay at home and have a nice little time. And then yesterday we didn't do anything either. We watched another episode of The Office. It's the one where Pam goes to the art exhibit and Michael's the only one from The Office that shows up.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess Oscar's
Her boyfriend
there.
shows up.
Yeah, Roy shows up.
And he's like, "All right, can I go now?"
Yeah. He's like, before they get back together, he's like, I gotta try to win her back. And then it seems like he's like halfway in between what he was before and trying, like actually still trying. And it's like, God, Roy, you just don't get it. You don't get it, man. I'm just glad that the end of that season is when Pam and Jim get together, because it's the beginning of the third season where it's like, all right, they're together finally.
Yeah.
Man, I would
But
have
that's
hated
what
one.
made it fun. Once they're together, it's like,
I mean, I still like the show after they get together because, I mean, Michael doesn't change until he leaves, and I think that's the 5th season. So, like, it's still 2 seasons of Michael. That's what,
I think
after
it's-
he
yeah.
leaves, it's weird. Like, it gets like, all right, you guys kind of don't know what
oh,
to do
dude,
anymore.
they bring in the interns. I hate the interns. That
I-
kid with the glasses.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking hate him.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's weird. The fucking, what is it, Robert California?
Oh, he's cool. I kind of like his character, but
Yeah, he's cool, but like the stuff where Andy becomes the boss, it makes no sense. Jim's been
Yeah.
there the longest. He actually is the number 2 right now. It's like, what? It's very clear that the reason Andy becomes the boss is because they're cashing in on Ed Helms' success from The Hangover.
oh, probably, yeah.
Because that came out around that same time.
Yeah.
And it's just like, we knew what you guys were setting up, and then you just went, hey, wait, we can get more people to watch if we do this. And it's like,
Yeah, I'm not even a huge Andy fan. You know?
Andy's kind of annoying.
It's like I get it, he can sing, and
He
he's
plays
like
the banjo.
he gets angry, like, okay.
Yeah. He goes, rid-it-dit-to-do. Like,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. Andy's a more annoying Dwight. At least Dwight's interesting.
Yeah,
His
yeah.
beat farm, his love for
my
Battlestar
favorite are, like,
Galactica.
First 2 seasons.
Yeah, those are good.
Season 3, I mean, that's not that season 3's terrible, but once they brought in that Karen girl and
She's gone by
Andy.
season 3. Because she goes.
I know she doesn't stay long. She becomes
Yeah,
yeah. But still.
yeah. Because she goes and is actually a main character on Parks and Rec. So I'm pretty sure when she leaves, that's why, is because she's going to be in that show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
God, lucky her.
yeah, actually.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. Not to get too much on The Office. I just been rewatching it, and it's a good show. If you haven't,
Oh,
what?
sorry. One last thing is Brandon has some weird app where you do a trivia, like a live trivia,
Mm-hmm.
and if you get them all right, you actually win money. And yesterday we were playing for Brandon because it was office trivia, and we got all the way to the last question and missed it.
What was the
Yeah.
last question?
Where was Jim and Pam's first kiss? And it was like 1, the warehouse, 2, a chain restaurant, and 3, I forgot.
It's
Like,
Chili's.
yeah. It's funny. I was watching that at the Dundies.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching that and I didn't see that part. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I was like, damn it.
Yeah.
But then there's really tough questions. Like the last 3 we guessed on and got them all right, except for the very last one.
What was one of the harder ones?
The episode when Kevin brings in his chili.
God,
And
that's so
spills it everywhere.
heartbreaking. Yeah. It's so sad to see him trying to recover, and he's just trying to scoop it back in, and it's like, oh, Kevin, no.
Yeah. One of the questions is what was one ingredient he did not put into the chili?
Oh, wow. That's okay. Yeah, you have to pay attention for that.
And it was like some kind of smoked meat. And I was like, I don't remember him saying that, so I picked that one. I was right. But yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say because Pam and Jim's first kiss is when Pam is drunk at Chili's because Roy leaves and she wants to stay, and they had a fight beforehand, and she's stealing people's drinks.
Yeah.
And then their second one is at the casino night thing where Jim leaves to go to.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
Is it Stamford? Yeah, Stamford. But yeah, so yeah, The Office is a good show. The American Office. Never seen the British one.
The British one's good too.
I don't.
If you like British humor.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. I don't know. I saw some bits of it with Ricky Gervais, and I was just like, man, he's like, I don't know. It's because like Michael's kind of a bumbling fool, like, but he still does things that are really nice sometimes. It's just from what I saw was just Ricky Gervais kind of being a dick to everyone, and I was like, like his character, not him actually.
Yeah. Right.
I was like, this doesn't, because like Michael's never just, well, that's not true. He is straight up mean to Phyllis a lot.
Oh, and Toby.
Oh God, he hates Toby. I know why he hates Toby, but still.
He's like, why don't you just kill yourself? You know, it's just like shit like that. Like, Jesus. All right. Anyways, I don't want to keep talking about The Office.
Oh, but you do. You just don't want it to be an Office episode of the podcast.
Well, I don't mind that, but I just feel like,
it's a great show. If anybody hears like, I don't want to hear about this, it's like, well, go watch the show, and then you'll see how great it is.
Yeah.
Oh. But yeah, so we haven't done a podcast in a week because, to be honest, you were busy and I wasn't really feeling it because I didn't really have a topic. And
Yeah.
we've gotten a lot of comments, a lot of stuff on the website. So I figured, we could do a podcast about the comments. That, and we talked about The Office for like 8 minutes. And penis.
Yeah.
It's pretty standard here.
And penises.
And like 3 minutes penis, 8 minutes Office. We're good to go.
Okay, we didn't talk about penises. We talk about the extending of penis.
Hey, it's brand friendly. It's the Polishing Podcast.
Yeah.
All right.
Have mercy on our souls.
Nah, I'm good. Anyway, just be like, nah. So we should probably go back to. I thought we had a lot of comments. Oh yeah, because it goes all the way back to episode 28. There we go. Says we didn't actually read the comments from this one. So the first comment on here, it's September 9th. It's been a month. Whoops. Is Martin. He's like, said, well done, guys. Nice variety of topics on this one. One thing I would like to clarify is Cheerios are not wheat, they're oats. Wait, I thought I read this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, wait. No. It's not that one. It's the one after this one. No. That was the I Hate Marvel Movies. Where is it? Because Martin had a comment about the GMO stuff, like where he clarified his opinion on it, but now I don't know where it is. That's weird. One sec. I know that's around here somewhere. Episode 30. It doesn't say there are any comments for this episode. Did he delete it? But it can't be deleted because I can see it, like when I go to our notifications. I don't know. Weird. Anyway, I have it now, so if you tried to get it away from us, Martin, it's too late. I caught you. He said, hi, guys. What I don't like about GMOs is that they take the seeds that we would normally plant for a crop and they change the DNA so that once the crop is harvested, it cannot be used again as a seed for the next planting season. In other words, they make it sterile. This forces farmers to go buy all the seed they need for the next planting.
Oh.
Some of the big seed companies have gone as far as suing farmers for using seed that has not been modified. Hey, I'm going forever for the subject, so I don't want to bore you out of your minds. Thanks, guys. That's actually, I didn't know that. I didn't know that certain GMO'd foods are sterile, so they can't be reused.
What's that company?
Which one?
The one suing farmers if they use different seeds.
Is it the company that sues farmers?
That's with the M. The Montesino or something like that.
I'm not sure.
Jim Carrey had a joke when he did his college speech. He's like, I'm here to plant seeds in your minds, but I'm going to get sued by Montesino or whatever, something like that.
Let me see. Company suing farmers. GMO company suing farmers. Monsanto, that's
it.
There you go.
Yeah, that's really shitty.
Yeah, that's messed up. Because that just like, yeah, it just eats into like, it makes everything more complicated instead of a farmer just being like, well, I get to farm. And it's like, nope, no, you don't.
Yeah,
that's shitty. Yeah. Surprisingly, no comments with the episode with Mr. Brunswick, and that might be because it was streamed live. It might be because people were able to ask questions and say stuff while it was happening. All right, well, then the last episode that we did was 32, Deal Breakers in Games and Fallout 76 hype. We got 4 comments there. Lawrence is sad, send love. Any other hobbies or interests other than video games, ? Is what he asks. And I would say my general interest is like looking at PC parts and stuff and like seeing what is new and building into my PC and like putting it together and stuff.
But that's relating to PC.
No, that's...
Or games.
Not really, because, I mean, To be honest, I kind of overdid what I put in my PC because of the editing I do for you. So it's more of a hybrid workstation gaming PC now.
True. That's true.
So so one of the things, the channel, like YouTube, I'm subscribed to Linus Tech Tips because, I mean, I don't know, I like it. But he also goes into, like, it's not only like PC stuff and tech stuff according to gaming, it's also like workstation, and like they do like what is the word I'm looking for? Benchmarks for like CPUs and stuff based on like editing and rendering, as well as like they always do one for gaming. It's like, we're not going to just get this 32 core processor and not try it on gaming. And it usually does terrible because it's not for that. But there is gaming stuff on there, but they do other stuff like that. And that interests me because I'm like, all right, well, if I do editing and stuff, then I would like to know, like, is more RAM better for editing? And it's like, for the most part, yeah, the more RAM you have, the more processes you can do at once. The more cores on your CPU, the faster it is to render. And like multi-core and single-core processes. Also, if you were wondering, Intel chips are better for single-core processes, which is why they're better for gaming than AMD chips. AMD are more workstation-oriented because of all the multi-core processor things that they can be used for.
That's cool.
Yeah. But, yeah. And then other than that, I mean, superhero movies. That's about it. I don't know. I my hobby is games. Like that's the thing I do in my spare time. It's like, oh, you're not streaming. What are you doing? Probably playing a different video game.
Yeah. That makes sense.
How about you, sir?
Hobbies. I like to do a little everything, I guess. Recently I'm getting into like weight training a little bit.
That's true. If you guys didn't know, Big Leather Daddy isn't just a nickname anymore for himself.
Getting swole. No, it's just, honestly, I do it more for my mind than my body because it makes me so, like, when I'm done working out, I feel so chill and like happy, and it's just all those dopamine while working out. So I'm really getting into that and like watching like videos about like different like workouts and how they're effective or not effective or whatever.
Yeah.
I've been getting into cooking a little bit.
How to make sure your keto diet stays keto.
Yeah, I'm not even keto, so
I know, but it's fun to say that.
Yeah. Ketogenic. I've been like cooking like Mediterranean meals actually, which is not keto at all.
Like Greek food or just Mediterranean?
Yeah,
food
basically Greek food.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You making some sweet gyros at home?
I made like this one isn't Greek, but it was like Spanish Mediterranean shrimp. It's good.
That's good.
But yeah, so I've been cooking, working out, and I do like a lot of, that's about it.
Do you do hot yoga?
Ooh, I would like to do hot yoga. Just because I watched Joe Rogan. That's all he talks about.
It's hot yoga?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I haven't listened to Joe Rogan podcast
amazing.
Forever. I mean, I've heard it's like, because yoga in general is really good for you. It's like to work on your balance, and it helps with strength, even though people don't like realize it. It's like, well, to balance yourself like that, you got to be able to flex the muscles well.
Right.
To keep yourself in those positions.
Flexibility, strength.
Yeah. And then just being like, hey, you know what would be cool if we turned up the heat in here and sweat a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess that's not cool. It's hot, but, not literally cool. Anyway. But yeah. I mean, I've never tried, like, because the only yoga I've ever done is on the P90X workouts, which they had a yoga workout on them. Yeah. And it's like, Allie's been doing a little bit of yoga recently, like on the nights that she like feels more like stressed and stuff, so she can like recenter.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, there's no way I'd be able to do the P90X one." I'm like, "It's literally just yoga. It's not like they do. It's not like you like, all right, now downward dog, now jump into like or anything. Yeah. It's just yoga. It's not. It's the one workout I feel like they didn't make extreme for no reason."
Yeah, well, originally, in its original form, it's not really supposed to be a workout.
Yeah.
But I feel like the West has kind of hijacked it, and you know,
As we do most things.
well, I don't know about that.
What are you talking about? Pizza, hamburgers, tacos. We've taken it all.
Okay, pizza and hamburgers are all Western. Tacos, you could even argue, are Western.
It's just a joke. Calm down.
I know. I'm just all right, but yeah, you know, more like they hijack it and they like, yo, gotta get these yoga pants for $200. It's like,
well,
okay.
yeah, that's just corporations hijacking any new fad.
Yeah. But anyways, yoga's really great. Yeah, I used to do yoga a lot, but I don't know. Hot yoga. I heard that like going to like what is it called? I'm drawing a blank here. When you're in the
Studio?
room. No, you're in a room and it's really hot and you sit there and you sweat.
Oh, a sauna.
Sauna, that's it. Sauna. Gee. That actually has a ton of health benefits too.
Yeah, I mean, just
Do it,
sweating
so.
is good. Getting all that garbage out of
Yeah.
your pores. But then you got to shower, make sure it doesn't
Yeah.
just sit on you and go back in. But anyway,
Yeah, you gotta wash it off.
I don't know. Like, I know hot yoga is very intense, though. Like, people are like, "Oh, it's yoga, but it's hot." And it's like, yeah, but if you're not paying attention, you could pass out or throw up because you're sweating a lot.
Well, I guess it depends also like how hard you go into it.
Well,
You know.
apparently, like they keep the rooms at like 100 degrees. Like it's just hot. So it's not even like, oh, I'm doing a bunch of intensive like stretching or poses. It's just if you're not staying hydrated, you could just pass out from sweating a lot.
Oh yeah, of course you gotta bring in like water and stuff.
Yeah, and people don't. They're like, oh, whatever. It's just yoga, but it'll be warm. And it's like, no, it's not warm yoga. It's hot yoga.
And it's like an hour long. So.
Yeah, but yeah. Oh, recently I've been like walking to the stores because they're only like 15 minutes away from our new apartment, which I mean, if I walk to the store, walk around the store, walk back from the store, it's like 45 minutes of just straight walking, which isn't bad. And then I've been standing to do stuff on the computer as well. Even on the weekends I'll stand so that way I'm not sitting all weekend,
Yeah.
which is all good, but like since we've moved here, I felt like I gained weight, whereas before I felt like I was doing a lot more. The only problem is we live on the 3rd floor, and like before we moved, I would go on like a 20, like no, I'm trying to think. It was like maybe a 15 or so minute walk, and then I'd come home and do like jump rope for 15 minutes. But
Yeah.
now that we live on the 3rd floor, once I get back from the like that really long walk, I'm just like coming up the stairs. I'm like, oh my God, my legs. Like, it's just, it's so much. And I'm like, there's no way I'd be able to go back downstairs, jump rope, and then walk back up the stairs again until like my legs are stronger. There's just, I know I can't do it right now. But
Well,
I would
walking
like to.
alone is good.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
I would like
it's
to
better.
get the jump rope back in.
Yeah, that's pretty intense cardio.
Yeah, because I mean, I couldn't do it for like I would have to like I wouldn't be able to jump for 15 minutes straight. I'm not that fit at it any way, shape, or form. But I'd be like I do like like a minute in the beginning, then wait until my breath calms down a little bit, but not a lot. Then go for like as long as I can. Wait, like you just do that for 15 minutes.
You would have to be really in shape to do 15 minutes straight.
Well, yeah, but still.
So, like, you'd have to be like athlete level.
Yeah, like pure Olympian bod level.
Yeah, like, yeah.
I'm here to
And
do the
even-
world record for jumping rope. It's like, all right, well, we don't know. Are you just gonna set the record right now? Yeah, it just goes for 15 minutes. Stops, vomits, passes out, and it's like, well, I mean, he did it. Is he still alive? He's got the record.
I was watching the guy who broke the record for most push-ups, and
How many was it?
I don't know, but like it didn't even look like a full push-up.
Huh?
He didn't even go down that far.
Huh?
But it's probably because they told him like this counts as one push-up, and he's gonna do the bear.
Oh yeah,
You
he's
know,
not gonna be
yeah.
like, oh well, I'm gonna do a full push-up.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna go all the way down.
Yeah, because nobody else would after that.
Yeah.
Huh?
But yeah, that's cool. Yeah, exercise really good.
But I think we were actually about to move on to the next comment, though, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's what it felt like, which is why
Yeah.
I was like, hey, Wait a second. So, next comment is from Braden, who hasn't commented in a while, and he even mentions that in his comment. Ho there, fellow Homo sapiens. Sapiens? I don't know why I said sapiens twice. I don't think this guy's actually a human. I think he's an alien.
Yeah.
You may not remember me. My name is Braden, obviously, as my username states. You know, the fucking weird-ass South African from a few months back, the one that tried to speak Shakespearean English. All right, well.
Okay. All right.
Anyways, I regretfully announce that I have committed the biggest sin against God. I have not listened to ye old podcast for a few months. I hope that I shall pick up that habit once again. First, I must apologize for my sinful absence. Can you forgive my sins and make me a whole man once more? I mean, we could forgive you. I don't know about that second part, though. I don't know if I can make you a whole man again.
Yeah, that might, yeah.
That's out of my power. You might have to see a real priest for that. But yeah, he says, for a suggested topic, how does the school system work in ye old states of America? In South Africa, it works as follows. Grades 1 through 7 is primary school, 1 through 3 being the juniors, and grade 4 through 7 being the seniors. You enter grade 1 at the age of 7 and leave primary school at the age of 13 if everything goes as planned. 1 through 3, you go to class at one teacher for the whole year per grade. Grade 4 through 7, you rotate your classes according to your roster of subjects, but the members of the class are the same. You go to secondary school, more commonly known as high school, at grade 8 when you're 14 and leave at grade 12 when you're 18, aka when you illegally drink and watch pornography, you know, like a man of culture.
Okay.
And grade 8 through 9 work the same as 4 through 7 in regards to class structure and rotations of class. 8 through 9 are the juniors, 10 and 11 are the seniors, and 12s are known as the matrics. It's MATRICS. When you reach grade 10, you have two choices. Or you voluntarily leave the school to pursue a career, or you can continue your studies at school. When you choose the latter option, the school provides you with a list of subjects, and you can choose any amount you want, with a minimum of 7 subjects, and 4 of those being 7 being compulsory subjects, usually 2 languages, maths or maths literacy, and life orientation, where you learn about sex and other useless shit. I don't know about learning about sex is useless, but, you know, to each their own. From there, you get divided into a registration class, mostly for administrative purposes. But depending on the subject you chose, your classmates change. So you can have English with John. Afterwards, you can have biology with Sam. When the grade 8s enter the high school, there's a 2-week program that has to be followed. Basically, just grade 8s being tortured by the grade 12s in order to show them they're not the big shots at the school anymore. Well, I'm glad that doesn't happen here, or at least at our school. In grade 7 and 12, there's an election to choose a handful of leaders known as prefects, akin to the Roman prefectors. School takes place from January to March, term 1, April to June, term 2, July to September, term 3, and October to November, term 4. December is our summer vacation. If you're wondering, I'm in grade 12 now, so I'm almost done with this shit. Whew. All right. And then just as an add-on to this whole thing, Lawrence's sad son Love responds to this comment and says, in my country, they don't teach sex ed. I thought girls had dicks until I was 12. No joke.
Oh, my God.
Thankfully, what movie was it? I don't even know what movie it was, but there's some movie from the 80s or 90s where a small child is like, boys have a penis and girls have a vagina. And I was just like, wait, what? As a very small child, I was like, wait, what does that mean? And I just asked my parents, and they're like, well, it's true. You have a penis and girls have vaginas. I'm like, well, what's a vagina? It's like, well, it's not a penis.
Yeah, and that's all you're going to get.
It's all you're going to know until you're older. But yeah.
So how do our schools work? They don't work.
Honestly, it sounds like the way your schools are set up is actually how I've been so Allie is a teacher, and she has been a teacher for high school, and now she teaches undergrad students in university, and she wants to, her career that she wants to go into is basically a teacher's, not assistant, but somebody who comes in to be like, all right, so your kids aren't learning and you don't know, and you're doing everything you've been taught to do. Let me tell you why you didn't get taught anything, so that way you can actually teach them, but in a much nicer way than saying that. So it's basically somebody who comes in to help teachers when whatever they're doing isn't working, or if there's teachers who are going to quote unquote urban schools that don't know how to connect with their students and stuff, and how they can and she can Allie can come in and be like, okay, well, you need to understand they're like, the reason they aren't learning grammar the way you think they should learn is because that's not how they've been taught to speak in their daily lives, their entire lives. And like, there's a bunch of like different things that she can do with this, but it's basically to help teachers who are kind of roadblocked into not knowing how to teach students in certain areas. And they make a lot of money and only work like not even as much as teachers do. And teachers get their whole summer breaks and everything. So yeah. And Allie doesn't have to plan lessons and stuff. She just has to come in, listen to the teacher, what they say, and be like, all right, well, here's what you're doing wrong. But when I was telling her, I was like, I don't understand why high school isn't like, we don't learn regular things. So I guess we should start with how the grade system works. Our elementary school is where you're supposed to start school no matter what. You can do pre-K, which is before kindergarten, which elementary school is kindergarten through 5th grade. Where we were, I heard that it still goes up to 6th grade in some places, and then some middle schools are 5th through 8th in some places too. So, but where we grew up, it was kindergarten through 5th grade. So it's kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade.
And this is where you learn like the basics.
Yeah, like 2 + 2 = 4. And then fish it's like how you spell fish, how to read. And then once you get up until your like very almost last years of elementary school, you learn math, division, basic science, how to write in cursive, which I think is being phased out. Yeah, I think that's being phased out for typing classes now.
Coding.
Yeah. Oh, coding.
Yeah.
Okay, I just had to take a swig of water there. Sorry. But yeah, back when we were young bucks, 8-year-olds. But I'm trying to think, because K through 5 is.
They also do a shit ton of testing. Which
it's just
brings no value.
Testing all the time, but it doesn't bring any value because the teachers don't teach. It's the weirdest shit. Standardized testing. Yeah, they don't teach us how to test. They teach us subjects, and then they're like, "Well, here's a test." Where it's like, I don't.
No. They teach us how to do well on the test. They don't teach us to teach us.
Yeah,
that's the thing. That's the problem with all these testing. It's like testing it doesn't prove anything. Just teach us things that are important, and then we'll move on.
Yeah, that's the shitty thing about the standardized testing, and I guess I don't know if it's all over America or. I think it is all of America, right? Standardized testing is a huge thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because it depending on how well the school does as an entire school system is how much money they get. And
right.
It's ridiculous. But I'm trying to think of the ages of people kindergarten through 5th grade because
kindergarten is like 5 years old.
5? I'm trying. Yeah. Because. I'm having a problem because I went through 2nd grade twice because I got helped back. So I'm like, all right, well, how old would I have been? So 18 was 12th grade. 17 is, I think you're right. So
I'm pretty sure it's 5, and then 6 for 1st grade.
Yeah, you're right. So you would start at 5 years old, and by the time you left, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, you'd be
11.
Yeah, 11. And then you'd go into middle school, which is 7th,
12,
6th,
13, 14.
Yeah, it's 6th through 8th grade. Yeah, and then you'd be 12, 13, 14, 15. And then you go into high school, which is 9th through 12th grade. And I think the only time I've ever heard freshman, sophomore, junior, senior is high school. I don't think I've ever heard anybody refer to themselves as that in any other school here. Like in middle or elementary school. It's not like kindergarten.
Yeah, it's a high school
freshman.
Thing. It's a high school and university thing.
Yeah. So in high school, 9th grade's your freshman year, 10th grade's your sophomore year, 11th grade's your junior year, and 12th grade's your senior year. And But the thing I was talking about with Allie, I was like, I don't understand why K through 8 is all of the stuff we usually learn. It's like math, how to write, how to read, like, basic math early on, K through 5. Then in middle school, you learn multiplication and division and then long division and all that stuff. Or, I mean, maybe long division was 5th grade. I don't know. It might have been 6th grade. You learn more intense math, but nothing too crazy. And then high school, I feel, should be like what Braden was saying was that like you could either choose like to go into a field or choose more schooling. I don't know why in high school we don't get taught how it's like, all right, here's your economics class. And it isn't teaching you about the economy. It's literally going, or I guess you would change the name of it, but it's like maybe, oh shit, I don't know. I don't know the name of, like, I feel like, I don't know what to name it, but like instead of economics, you would take a class that's like, all right, you get $10,000 for the semester. You have to figure out how to live off of that money throughout the entirety of this course. And if you end up in the negative, you fail and you have to take this course again the next year until you finally get it right. So that way, when you go out into the real world, you know how to balance a budget that you get through the year. And it's like, you know, something that is really important for people because they don't know how to do that. Like, you come out of high school and it's like, cool, I learned fucking algebra and physics and I don't have any, like, I've never used physics in anything. I've never used anything I was taught in that class for literally anything. I'm not saying you shouldn't be able to learn that in high school, but you should be able to specialize in high school. Like, if my dream is to become an engineer and I want to learn how, like, all of the stuff that it takes to build buildings and fucking, like, you know, maybe solder a circuit board correctly and all that stuff that like an electrical engineer or a building engineer or all that has to do with it. It's like, then let that person take physics so they understand. It's like, well, if I don't have the supports in the right position, the entire building can collapse under all of the pressure and all that stuff. But somebody like me who has no want or reason to go for that doesn't have to take that class, you know?
Yeah.
There should be general life subjects that you can learn. It's like how to balance a budget, how to, I mean, people are like how to balance a checkbook, but we don't fucking use checkbooks anymore. Just like how to make sure you end up with enough money to where you're not going in debt every month. Stuff like how to, fucking basic living stuff, because so many kids in our area, like, there were so many guys, and it's just girls too, just so many people who had cars that their parents had bought them and paid for, and they were paying for their insurance and their gas, and like a lot of people didn't have to pay for anything. They just got those things because we were in a, I guess, we were in a well-off area, to be honest. It was more middle and upper middle class than people like to think it was. Excuse me. But like, then those kids go to like college and they're like, wait, I don't know how to use a washer. My mom always did my clothes. Like, just have stuff like that. It's like, well, how much detergent do you put in a washer? How long do you, like, what kind of wash settings do you use? And some people are going to be like, oh, that's so stupid. I already know how to do that. It's like, well, yeah, because your parents taught you. But there are a lot of kids in these well-off areas who have no idea. Like, Allie, because Pitt is kind of like a place where a lot of smart kids go that do really well on tests and SATs and ACTs. Like, they get there and they're like, I don't know how to wash my clothes. I never had to wash my clothes before. So they'll just they'll just pile up a bunch of dirty clothes and they're like, well, I have to wash them, but I don't know how to use a washer, you know?
Jesus.
Because they've never had to.
Yeah, but like the age of YouTube, like, damn, just put in a YouTube video, like, how to wash clothes.
I mean, they probably do, but it's the thing is, like, they were never told how to do it. And it's like, why don't we have basic living as a class in high school?
I agree with, I've been saying that for years. I did take a class where they kind of help you manage your money, but it was optional. It wasn't mandatory.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know about like how to use a washing machine, because it's just kind of like,
I mean, that could be like the whole class would be like how you would, like, some people don't know how to cook for themselves. It's like, well, when, like, it could just be a whole list of stuff.
Home
it's
ec.
Like a home ec class that isn't, because a lot of people think home ec is just cooking, but like it's just literally how to live at home. It's like, it's like, obviously you gotta clean every day, you gotta dust, you gotta do your own laundry, you gotta learn how to cook food. It's like a whole list of things that they learn. But the whole thing is like, I don't get why high school isn't learning that stuff, how to live your life, how to make sure you know how to like balance your budget according to how much money you're making, how to, you know, just get around, like, you know, how to like read street signs and stuff. That one, not so much. Anybody who learns how to drive knows that stuff. But like, you know, it should be a bunch of general life skills that you can, like, once you're in 10th, 12th, like not 10th, but like maybe like beginning of 11th, 12th grade, you start to like, after you get those general things out, you just load up on very specific things. It's like, oh, well, I want to be an engineer. Okay, we'll take physics and like advanced algebra and do all this stuff. So you can like go into college and you already know a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. Or if you want to just learn a trade.
Yeah, or trade skills too.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why I learned physics or like I get not even economics. It's like, do I, a basic kid like in high school, need to know how the world's economy works?
I mean, a little bit. I think that's important.
Yeah, like,
but not like. I mean, like, I don't know. I just think schools train you to be like a dog. Like, they want you to be this puzzle piece.
Yeah.
You go to high school, then you go to college, then you go into debt, and then you're sitting in a cubicle working for somebody else. Yeah. That's what school trains you to be. Like just you're gonna work to land a job working for someone else.
Yeah.
Instead of just teaching you on how to be an entrepreneur or creative. Yeah. Like, art is constantly being cut out of school.
Yeah.
Like, oh, art's just a waste of money. It's like, no, art is extremely important.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah. I mean, then we can go into the whole thing of like, since we lived in a Bible Belt area, sex ed wasn't very good at all.
I don't know about that. We didn't really live in a Bible Belt area.
No, but my health teacher was Catholic, so he did skirt around a lot of stuff. And he made it known that he was and all that. So I was like, looking back at it as an adult, I'm like, I don't know if that's okay. Like, I don't know if he was just electing to not talk about certain things or what there.
Sex ed is an interesting thing where it's like, is it up to the schools to teach you, or is it up to the parents? Because like, they don't teach you, like, they teach you sex ed, but they don't teach you like gay sex ed, which I think is really important.
Yeah.
Like, because not everyone, it's like they tell you to use a condom and stuff, but I don't know, it's just like, I just think it's more of like, sex ed should be more of a parent to child thing.
True, but I feel like the reason why schools even started doing sex ed is because, well, I'm looking at it from our time standpoint and not like, because I don't know when sex ed was integrated into the schooling system, but like from our time in school, it's like, well, we spend more time at school than with our parents. Because like when I got home from school, my parents were still at work. Didn't get home until 5 or 6 o'clock some nights. And then I'd be probably, depending on how much homework I had, I'd still be doing it and be like, oh, hey. And then like my mom may or may not cook dinner. Then she would like, want to relax after work,
Yeah, but like, you can do it on a weekend. Just have like little talks here and there. Like, I don't know. I get it, but like, school just doesn't do a good job of teaching it anyways. Like, they're like, the best way to avoid pregnancy and STDs is not having sex. It's like, okay, well, that's not a solution, okay?
Well, yeah, because it was an abstinence, like, a way for schools to just not talk about it, though. Like, they were like, oh, hey, you have to talk about this. It's like, well, what if we tell them just not to have sex? Boom, now we don't got to talk about it.
Yeah, and that's very bad because, horny teenagers are not going to do that.
Yeah, they're not going to not have sex.
Yeah, so it's stupid. Yeah. And, instead of just teaching like, oh, do this, if you're going to have to do it. But, they did a bad job at that. It could be maybe other counties and states do a better job, but like, it was bad.
Because, I mean, I know we aren't like technically, like, we're not in I don't know that the Georgia is considered Bible Belt, but it's the South, and religion is very.
Well, there's definitely Bible Belt areas in Georgia, but like where we were like the suburbs of Atlanta, so like it wasn't super religious. And
true.
I mean, I had like a gym teacher for a sex ed teacher, so
yeah. I mean, I had a coach.
Yeah, that's what I had.
Yeah.
which is a whole nother thing.
Yeah, like the coaches and gym and
God,
stuff. Not
they just like, here, fill out this packet for today.
yeah.
Okay.
It's like, oh yeah,
All
cool.
right.
I guess this is what I'm learning.
Okay,
Yeah, that's a whole
thanks,
other
coach.
Yeah. But yeah, I've always thought that since high school, like since being finished with high school, is that high school should be more generalized early on and then specialized as you're about to graduate. So that way if you have an interest in a career, you could learn about it before you have to pay mountains of money to learn about it, you know?
Yeah, and take courses direct. Well, it's because of the testing. They want you to do well on the test, so they teach you everything.
Yeah.
Instead of teaching you like actual skills that you can use for your career or life or whatever, they just like, you got to do well on these tests so we can look better as a school. It's
yeah.
like, okay.
It's annoying.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of how schools work here, sort of. I think we've
at least where we were.
Yeah, because I've heard about schools in the north being different. So that's just down in our state where we grew up. And then last comment on here was from Sam, and he said old Fallout games had voice acting for certain characters, and while the ghouls didn't sound quite like they did in 3 in New Vegas, they had raspy voices mostly. This is to my comments about Fallout 4 where the ghouls didn't, because like in 3 in New Vegas, they were all like, hey, smooth skin. And like for the most part in 4, their voices I don't remember them being that raspy still. They might have been like less exaggerated, but it was kind of jarring still. And then he says that we should play Fallout 1 and 2 because they're two of the best RPGs ever made. And I don't know if I'll ever play them, just because I don't know if I'd like them.
Yeah, isn't it like top down?
Yeah, they're isometric, or like old school RPGs, kind of like Baldur's Gate and stuff.
Not to say that that's bad,
I just don't know if I would be able to play all the way through. That and Fallout 1, you're timed the entire game because because you leave the vault because the water purifier in it breaks and you have to go get a new one, and if you take too long, everybody dies.
Yeah.
So then it's kind of like, well, I guess that's the end. From what I remember, at least. That might be Fallout 2. I don't know if that's 1 or 2, but it's one of them. But yeah. Yeah. That's all the comments. So I know this is kind of beating a dead horse. And I know anybody here is probably like, oh, God, they're going to talk about Fallout again now, aren't they? And you're like, you're goddamn right we are. So I even saw a Reddit thread last night before I went to sleep about the differences in Fallout 3, New Vegas, and 4, because so Obsidian is the company that made New Vegas, and people for whatever reason think Bethesda was like, oh man, they made a better Fallout game than we did, so we'll never give anyone else the rights to make games for us, or like games from our game, like from the licenses we have. But the thing is that people were pointing out, it's like ZeniMax said that they wanted to do more stuff in-house, because people think Bethesda and ZeniMax Studios are like the same thing when they're not. They're two different entities that ZeniMax just I don't know if they employ Bethesda or whatever, but they're not the same thing. But one of them makes the decisions and the other one has to go through with said decisions. And I think it's ZeniMax is the one that said, hey, we're going to do more stuff in-house. So Bethesda was like, okay, I guess that means we get to make more Fallout games and nobody else does. So there's that little tidbit of information in case you just didn't know. Unless I'm wrong, in which case, shoot me in the face. Not literally. Please don't.
Sue me.
Yeah, no, don't. I don't have any money. So somebody was like, well, everybody always shits on Fallout 4, and some people are like, well, yeah, it's well-deserved because of this, and this. And I'm like, I've been thinking about it, and like somebody I watched stream is playing Fallout 4 for the first time right now, and I'm like, Fallout 4, I think the reason people had so many bad things with it is not so much because of like the game that it was more that there were things in the game that had so much potential that didn't do anything. Like there's so I know you haven't played 4, but you run across a fighting pit with a bunch of raiders in it. Like there's a boxing ring and they just fight in it, And when you enter it, you're like, oh, cool. This is your first thought is, oh, this is a Fallout game. I'm totally going to be able to talk to these guys and probably take part in some fights, maybe rig some matches in my favor or whatever, like have a quest line. But for whatever reason in Fallout 4, you walk in and everybody aggroes on you and then you just have to kill everyone.
Oh.
And it's like, oh, that sucked. Because like, your first thought process is, oh, I mean, this obviously I'll get to do some like quest stuff here, right? And then it turns out that's not the case. And then another big thing people point out is that you find like you're walking around and you hear an announcer being like, the other robot's getting in the lead. And then as you come closer, you see it's a racetrack and there are 4 robots racing and there are people there like betting on the races. And you're like, this is awesome. I'll be able to build my own robot racer. Maybe I can just bet on the races. And then once you get close enough, everybody aggroes and kills you, tries to kill you, even the robots that are racing. And people are like, I think that's one of the reasons a lot of people got mad at Fallout 4 is because there's clearly things that could have been like entire quest lines that just turn out to be, and it, like everybody's going to shoot you instead. And I think a lot of people say it's most likely time constraints for when they wanted to put the game out and actually get it out to people. And they had to cut those quest lines because if those had been in the game, I bet it would have been received better because it would have had more depth to it than just, oh, well, they're all bad guys, so they're going to fight you now. Especially the robot racetrack one because there are a bunch of named people there that you don't get to interact with other than shoot in the face.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's one of the things is there's just a lot of depth that seems to have been cut out of the game, but it's not because they didn't want it there, but it's because they got rushed to put it out instead. And there is even mods that put in cut content. So I think that actually does fix the arena, like the Raider fights, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't know about the robot racetrack stuff. But I was thinking, I was like, Fallout 3 had a really good story. Fallout New Vegas had better RPG stuff and a better shooting mechanics, but Fallout 4 has the best shooting, and it got base building, and it did a better survival mode too. So like they all have good things going for them. And it's just, I was just thinking about that, and I was just like, you know what? Fallout 4 is a good game still. It's just people shit on it harder than I feel like it deserves sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more just like the same thing with Warhammer Total War. It's a good game, but it's just a higher standard. Like people expect more.
Yeah, no, which I understand. Like literally coming across any of those two areas and being like, oh, I'm ready for these quests, and then it turns out you don't get anything from it but to shoot everything. Sucks. It sucked. Even when I was playing it, it was like, oh, cool, robot racetrack, and then everybody turned around and just started shooting at me, and I was like, well, that's lame. But yeah. I don't know. But this just doesn't, it all leads back to 76 and how I'm, still waiting to see how it plays. Only 11 days till we get to find out.
Yay.
Though people on Xbox One get to find out Tuesday, I think. So in 4 days? What is that? Saturday, Sunday, Monday? Yep, 4 days. So, hey, if you have an Xbox, if you're like, oh, I play Fallout on Xbox, I'm sorry for the frame rate and FOV. It's terrible. And if you're wondering, it's like, Nico, you can't increase your FOV on any of the Fallout games. Ha! That's where you're wrong. On PC, if you press the tilde key and enter the console, you can increase your FOV to 90. It lowers performance because the game doesn't expect you to see that much of your surrounding, but fuck it. I feel like I'm being claustrophobic when the FOV's 70. Ugh. Seriously, it's garbage.
Yeah.
And it's also clear they never intended for that it's not the intended way to play because every time you load in, you have to do it. But I don't care. If I don't have my FOV at 90, I feel like I'm going to be sick when I'm this close to my monitor. Sorry, I've got the burps, so I'm trying to suppress those while also talking.
That's cool.
But yeah, so I'm sorry for your frame rates, but tell us how it is. Tell me if it's fun to shoot ghouls with your friends, because that's all I really care about.
Well, then we got the game for you.
Yeah. I feel like I'm going to get it and I'm going to be like, this is exactly what I thought it was going to be, and I'll have fun with it. And I don't know,
Yeah.
I don't even think the PvP is that going to be that big of a deal, honestly.
Yeah. Who
Just
knows?
just because like they can't destroy your base because like your base disappears with you when you log out. So it's not like I don't have to worry about being raided unless I'm online, which is one of the things I hated about Rust is like you could be there one day, come back, and you wake up on the beach and you're like, oh, we got raided. Like, it's like everything you worked for is gone. So I'm like glad I don't have to worry about that. And people who go out and like just shit on lower levels get a bounty put on them. So it's like, oh, if you're a dick and just fuck on little people that can't defend themselves, you get a giant bounty on you for people to come after you. So that's great. IMO. I'm like, I don't know. I feel like it's going to be fun. I don't know. Have you looked up anything else since the first time we talked about it?
No, not really.
Okay. Just wondering. But yeah. Whew, that's a lot of stuff. That was all the comments, though. I thought there was more. It felt like there was more. But, yeah. You got anything you want to add to any of the things we talked about? You ever think you'll use extends when you're older?
No.
Dick too big. I'm afraid I could kill somebody.
Yeah, that's it. No, just I don't really like taking pills, supplements,
Oh, you don't like taking supplements? Come on, dude. How are you
Unless
gonna
it's
get
steroids.
Yeah, how are you gonna get big?
Human growth hormone.
Human growth hormone. Nice. But yeah, no, I got nothing else to add to our weird extends office, great like school and GMO talk that we had.
No, I think that's it.
Yeah,
we said what needed to be said.
Yeah, like high school is stupid here in America. School in general is stupid here in America.
Yeah, school should be fun. You should be looking forward to it,
yeah,
but it's not.
Yeah, you should look forward to learning things that you'll actually use in daily life.
Or things you want to learn about.
Yeah, instead of, hey, you're going to learn physics because we get tested on physics. So if you don't know how to do physics things, then we're fucked and we'll all get fired.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, oh, God, I don't even... It's just, it doesn't make sense. God, I wish I could go back and slap someone somewhere. I wish I could go back in time and stop the standardized testing craze before it started. And yeah, I wouldn't go back and kill Hitler. I'd kill the guy who invented standardized testing. It's like, you have any idea how many children's lives you ruined? It's like, you could go back and stop Hitler. If it wasn't for Hitler, I wouldn't meet my wife. It's like, I don't know if that's exactly how that works, but whatever.
Yeah, you just can't go back and kill someone like that because...
Yeah, it'll create another timeline and everything will be fucked and nothing will be the same. I get it.
As tragic as World War II was, we made a lot of tech advancements and medical advancements. So it's tough. It's just one of those things where it's like...
Yeah. Did you ever watch Deadpool 2? Because I know you saw the first one.
No.
So there's I mean, do you care about spoilers?
I don't.
Okay, just making sure. So the character in that called Cable is a time traveling mutant from the future. He has a watch that lets him slide, quote unquote, through time, and they fix it at the end of the movie and they give it to Deadpool for the after credit sequences.
Oh, I think you told me this.
Yeah, and there's a sequence where he goes back and shoots Ryan Reynolds in the head before he does Green Lantern, which is funny, but it also is it's kind of dumb because it's like Deadpool is Ryan Reynolds, so this doesn't make sense. But whatever, It's stupid. He kills Deadpool from X-Men Origins Wolverine because that wasn't actually Deadpool, which is funny. But then he also there's one they filmed but never put in the theatrical version, but it's in the Blu-ray. Where he goes back to kill baby Hitler, fresh newborn baby Hitler, and he's like, he just waits for the nurse to leave, and he's like, oh, look at him, he's so small and cute. No, wait a minute, I know why I'm here. Yeah, all right, let me just pick him up, and it's just like, oh God, all right, this is a lot harder than I thought it'd be, because it's a baby. And then
That's
it like
funny.
cuts to black as he like goes to like, it looks like he's gonna choke out the baby, and it cuts to black, but then it comes back and he's like holding him. He's like, oh, you just need to be changed. That's why you caused the genocide of so many people. Nobody changed your diaper. And it's like, that's, and he's just like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna have to go back and get Cable. He's way better at dealing with stuff like this, because the whole premise of the movie is Cable's trying to kill a kid anyway. So it's funny.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, to be fair, he did go try to kill baby Hitler, and killing a baby, even if it's Hitler, would be difficult. It's like, fuck, this is a baby. It can't do anything.
Well, it's almost like you could like, instead of killing him, guide his life to where
He doesn't go through art school, and that's the whole.
Yeah. Yeah.
My art isn't good enough. So obviously, it's the Jews' fault.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Eddie Izzard, the comedian, has a
Yeah.
joke like that. He's like painting and he's just like, I can't do it. I'm gonna go kill the Jews now. It's like-
Oh man, Eddie Izzard's a
it's-
trip.
yeah, I love him because he does a lot of historical jokes.
Yeah, Jesus with the dinosaurs.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Walks into a Western bar. Velociraptor playing the piano just stops when he walks in.
Makes no sense, but it's so
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is a fun podcast episode. Makes no sense, but you like it when it doesn't make sense.
When does it ever make sense?
Oh, when we have a topic that we've prepared beforehand and
That's
done a
true.
little bit of stuff on. I think next podcast will be a Q&A one to keep us more streamlined and on focus. I just got to remember to actually post on Wednesday or Thursday or whatever to be like, hey, give us questions.
But
So
the podcast after that might be talking about my project.
Oh, that's true. And that we'll be able to talk about our I mean, you'll hear our first impressions when we play Fallout 76 on stream, but we'll probably do a podcast about how we feel about it after playing it for a while too. But yeah, so look forward to those. I'm looking forward to hearing about the project and seeing all that neato art.
Yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't. Your artist was like, I can't do it. Time to kill the Jews.
Yeah, hopefully not. But I don't. He can do it though. That's the thing.
Okay, that's good. I can do this. All right. Well, now I gotta go kill the Jews anyway. It's just he's just always a Nazi. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what they learned. That's why nobody goes back in time to try to fix Hitler. It's like, my art is great. All right, time to kill the Jews. It's like, we can't stop this. Damn it. All right. Well,
Yeah.
might as well make him a failed artist than a good one.
Yeah, I think okay, yeah. I was gonna say another way you could avoid World War II, but
What?
it's whatever. Well, after World War One, they were really harsh on Germany, made them pay for the war, and had all these restrictions. If you got rid of all of that and everyone helped paid for the war, then there's no
the German economy
incentive.
doesn't tank to the point where they want to elect a dictator.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
So then we don't even have to kill Hitler or make him good at art.
Yeah.
Well, who knows? Anyway, nobody knows. It's all what ifs anyway. And you can't change history. And even if you could, it probably isn't for the best. Because it would create an entirely different timeline. And you would never
could
know
not
the people.
exist.
Yeah. You could we got to do a whole time travel episode because that's fascinating in and of itself. But yeah, before we get off on a weird tangent and go over and ruin everything, it's been nice talking to you. We got to do one thing before we leave, and we got to know about Josephine and her corner.
Oh, she's good. We bought her more hay because
Nice.
it's getting colder and she needs more, warmth. So,
Nice.
but yeah, she's been digging in that and having fun, and she's doing good.
That's good. All right. Well, that's been the Polishing Podcast, boys and girls. I never mentioned where you could listen to it because at this point, I feel like I don't know how you get here at that point. I don't know how you're listening to it if you need to know where to listen to it. But yeah, Polished Podcast, Nico, otherwise known as Nico Powerful on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. YouTube is dead, so don't go there. It's Big Leather Daddy.
Big Leather Daddy. I'm Apollo. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube.
It's Pixelated Apollo. 1 L. Multiple T's. Too many T's in Pixelated. It's like 7 T's. I don't understand it. There's not. There's only one. But yeah, that's us. It's a Polishing Podcast. And yeah, God bless.
Oh, stay clean, stay polished. I almost forgot.